What's up, everyone? Welcome to the first episode of Jump School. I'm your host, Ihsaan Ali, aka the StyleJumper. On this podcast, we'll be discussing how to jumpstart your mindset by dressing well, boost your style, confidence, and etiquette. I'll also be discussing things like mental and physical health, the power of creativity to rejuvenate your soul. We need a lot of that these days. We need something to inject into us that's going to give us some strength and power. That's the most important thing. We have to take back our power. And we're going to take back our power by doing things, by being active, not by sitting idle and looking at the news and being frustrated and worried about tomorrow. Let's focus on today. Let's focus on what tools that we have that's innately in us. And then we look at things to enhance those unique abilities that we have. And I just love the word jump school. You just got to jump. You got to go for it. You got to put your life into action. You got to be motivated. You just got to jump. Jump at dressing well. Jump to increase your style. Jump for confidence. You're jumping to increase etiquette. And also our creativity. A lot of us have unique abilities, but we're not maximizing on them. So we're going to do that, and we're going to learn about it. We're going to talk about it on this podcast. I actually recorded this on my YouTube channel, the StyleJumper, and I began to record and talk, and it was long format. So I'm thinking this would be the perfect first episode for Jump School.
What's up, fellas? This is the StyleJumper, Ihsaan. As you might notice, in a different spot. I'm still in the studio, which is the garage. Not a man cave, but it's the garage, but it's where I bring all my info to you. So I wanted to break up the monotony today. And I was thinking, what can I do to alleviate some of this stress and anguish, right? So I decided to just, rearrange things in the studio and try this from a different angle. The goal is to, paint it up a little bit more and just make it more inviting and just be more creative when it comes to where I record, give you a different background and things of that nature. So that's what's to come in 2020. I'll continue to elevate my style and how I create. So just wanted to just talk to you a little bit. I be thinking, bro, what's going on? You got the t-shirt on and a microphone. At the end of the day, I just selling in and thought that I would just speak to you guys. And I was thinking, like, so many of us have things that we want to do, wish we could do, and would have done over the years. And I want to give you some ideas, some of the things I'm working on. I'm really excited. I have 2 secret projects I'm working on, so I'll let you in on both. The first thing I'm working on is an online course. I really believe that this is going to help quite a few of you. And I'm not going to give all the details right now, but just know that it's coming and I'm working on it. The second thing I'm working on, and I'm happy to announce that I have completed my book. My book is completed. It is in the editing process. So I can't wait to share with you the book, some details about the book. I think you'll really appreciate that as well. In the comments, let me know if you're interested and this is intriguing to you, if you want to know what's going on with the book as well as the course. I am excited. I'm trying to contain myself because it's something that, it's heartfelt. Obviously, anything that you do creatively is your baby, and this is my baby. Keep this in the back of your mind. I'm going to be looking for a beta group to work with me in this course. So the details are to come. I can't wait to share it with you. And if those of you who are interested in the book that I'm working on, let me know in the comments below if you're ready to see what your boy been writing. If I can read, I know how to read, and I can write. But it's just one of those things that I was thinking, like, there's a story about a man on his deathbed, and his ghosts were all around him. These were the ghosts of dreams and unfulfilled dreams along his bedside. And they were upset. And they were frustrated with him because they're like, man, we weren't able to live. We weren't able to come to life because you didn't allow us. You didn't give us to the world. You didn't put in the action. You didn't put in the work to bring us out and share us with the world. So now we got to go to the grave with you. Man, that's a serious thought. And you know what I've heard, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard this quote before, where's the richest place in the world? It's not the banks, it's not Bitcoin, and it's definitely not my pockets. It's the graveyard. It's the graveyard because of all those unfulfilled dreams that went into the grave, in the ground with millions of people who for some reason they weren't able to make those dreams come true. They weren't able to fulfill those dreams. Maybe it was that they were embarrassed that they had this idea or this dream, or maybe they were just afraid, that it could never happen for them. Or also it could be that there was a lot of negative feedback, a lot of negative people around them. And sometimes you share your dreams with people, and I'll say this, you share your dreams with people, and because they have such a small vision and focus, their mind is so narrow that your idea and your dream blows their thought process out of the water, and then they give you some negative feedback, or they don't have the capacity or the integrity to dream with you, so they shoot it down. Or maybe they just simple and they can't articulate their own dreams, so they just ignore yours. It's something to think about. And something I think about all the time. Am I gonna leave this life with a whole bunch of ghosts staring over me? I can't. I was about to say I can't live with that, but I'll be on my deathbed. So it's time to live, y'all. It's time to live. Yeah, it's COVID-19 going on, and this thing sent a shockwave to the earth, to all around the world. You don't control anything. I control it. I'm the earth. So what are you doing about your dreams and your goals? Because some of us may not get that call to come back to work. Some of us, are in furlough. Some of us got laid off. And some of us, the company that we work for, the business that we worked for, it will no longer exist after this. They just could not handle and can't handle the financial deficit that happened. There's a lot of small businesses that are going to be impacted by this. There's a lot of people out there, and people I know, and even the industry that I'm in, that's going to change forever. So we got to get prepared, fellas. We got to start thinking and use this time, because we might not get it back. And while, the government is working on, these incentives and stimulus packages, and we might be getting a little bit of money in our bank accounts, what are we going to do with it? Are we going to spend that money? Are we just going to tuck it away, which can be fine? Or are we going to take a portion of that and invest in ourselves? Or are we going to go to I can't go to the mall right now, so you're going to hit the online store, you smashing out Amazon? What are you doing? Let's be the person in the middle. Let's be the person who's going to take a portion of that stimulus package and put it towards their dreams. 10%. Whatever that total is for your household, if you're a family, or if you're an individual, what is it, $1,200 if you're a single person over the age of, I think, like 21, 22, something like that. If you have kids, it's $1,200 for you, your spouse, $1,200, and then $500 each kid. Now, this is something that they're going to read about in their school books. This is something they're going to tell their kids. when the world stopped when they were young? What are they gonna say about their parents? And they're gonna ask these questions. When that money came, when the stimulus package came to your bank account, mom and dad, what did you do with it? You got money for us too. What did you do with it? Are you planting a seed of entrepreneurship to your kid? Are you helping them to believe in their own genius and creativity? Invest in them too. How many ever kids you got? You need to put 10% of that away for each one of those kids. Or more. Obviously 10% is not a lot when you got 500. So maybe you need to think about that, maybe a fifth of that, maybe $100 that you and your child work together, and your kids, each of them, work together and see exactly what it is that they want to do, what are the things that they enjoy, and how you can help them make that dream a reality. I already got some thoughts in the back of my mind what I want to do with my kids. And I'm investing in myself with regards to my own creativity and my own learning and how I can get better. And that's why I'm spending this time with you as well. I want to do and get better and better, because you and I know whenever the rubber meets the road again, it's gonna be a long road. Just think about it, fellas. It's just something that's been on my heart and on my mind as well. And yeah, how many videos you're gonna see about being quarantined and COVID-19 and how to do this when you're stuck in the house and how you do that when you're stuck in the house. But I hope what you're really doing and you're really thinking about is how you're gonna spend this time. How are you spending this time? And also how you're gonna spend this money when it comes. Yeah, rent, mortgage, car payments, all those things are important. They are. Food, obviously. But the most important thing is you. The one thing that you must consider is, how can I create another stream of income? There's some people that's winning right now. People who have online businesses, those who have, made some decisions early on, products and services. This is just a perfect timing for them. And I'll give you one that's blowing up, that's going crazy. Zoom is going crazy. Now, I've been using Zoom for years with my coaching group.
Shout out to my coach, David Shands, and the Sleepless Nights. Man, these past couple of years been great.
And all of a sudden, Zoom is the thing to use while everyone is at home. So they're winning. They're winning big. So start thinking about some of those things, some of those opportunities, some of those ideas and concepts and industries that you can create or be a part of or learn or enhance or start your own business. It's up to you. It's up to you. Now, not everybody's gonna come out of this unscathed, but come out of here, come out of it with some bumps and some bruises, some cuts, some lumps. But I hope and pray that it's smarter, that you're a smarter person, that those lumps and bumps and bruises aren't in vain. That you've learned something, that you've created something, that you've sparked the idea that's gonna help improve your life, your family's life, and all those around you. There's this brother I follow, he's so dope. His name is Jamal King. He's the 9-to-5 millionaire. What's up, Jamal? He has a quote he always talks about, which states that one man's obedience is connected to so many people's destiny. Wow. When I heard that for the first time, it shook me to the core. And I'll say it again. One man's obedience is connected to so many people's destiny. So many people's destiny. Give you two examples. King. If Dr. King wasn't obedient, imagine where we would be right now, especially for those of people of color. If King wasn't obedient to his purpose, where would we be? Where would we be? I can't even imagine. Second person. Female. Could you imagine not having ever heard Whitney Houston. Can you imagine? What's up, babe? What happened?
I don't know where it went.
What?
I finished and it stopped and it finished.
Okay, calm down. Come on, let's see. What happened?
But I think I deleted it and I just finished.
What did you do? Let's see.
And then I don't know.
Okay, come talk to me. All right. What was the last thing you did, baby?
I went to the file thing and I didn't do anything after that. And then it just like closed out.
You closed the whole project?
No.
Okay, just relax. Let's see. So this is the, okay, that's one. That's the one that you was copying. Okay.
I didn't do it.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's see. Hit stop record, babe. Man, I'm back. Hey, real life, y'all, that's what happens. All y'all who got kids, you know, there are things that's going on in their world that's important, and it's how you respond to them. It's so funny, I was just talking about my kids, and that was my baby girl. What's funny is she spent 4 hours working on this project, this art piece that she was creating for school. She was learning how to draw online, and I love it. You know, I'm a creative, and I love seeing her be creative. And actually, it's interesting. I'm rocking my Nipsey t-shirt today, and she was doing a picture of Tupac. Now, I've never talked about Tupac to her. It's just something on her own. She's 11, which is really interesting for me. But all that to say, it's how you handle things, right? And we fixed it. Her project, she thought she lost her project, and we were able to find it. So happy about that.
So me and baby girl had a deal. The only way that I can show this video footage if I put her artwork on the video as well. And she's negotiating. I ain't mad at her.
But my point was, imagine if we never heard Whitney Houston's voice. That's a beautiful voice. And we'll just talk about singers. Luther, Marley, Lauryn Hill. Man, I can't even imagine not having Outkast, right? Well, I'm biased. Or the first time I heard Wu-Tang, or Coltrane, or Miles. Can you imagine if they weren't obedient to their gift and their craft? And they worked on it. And there was a lot of sacrifices, but they were obedient. So there's something in you that the world is waiting on. I don't know what it is. You know better than me. But I hope you tap into it. Pen to pad, or fingertips to the phone or the computer, typing away, or drawing out your idea, doing some research online, and trying to figure this out. We're forgetting as adults to learn. What is it like to learn again? And we're just not pushing ourselves in that way because we have so much going on. You got kids, you got work, you got your spouse, you know, and then you got all the other things that you enjoy. But we forget to learn. So now it's time to tap into that brain, crank that brain open, thinking power. I've been listening to audiobooks for a long time. And one of my best friends, he gave me some great advice. He was like, hey man, you should think about picking up a book and read a book, not just something random. Read something like a biography or even a fiction. And I'm not a big fiction guy. I was like, dude, the last fiction book I read, like the Celestine Prophecy when I was in the Navy, that was 20 years ago. This month, when I got out, But it was really interesting that he told me that, because I was like, I got a book I need to continue reading, and it's Dapper Dan. And I promise you guys, I opening up the book, it's right here on the shelf. I open it up, start reading it, and it took me to a place that made me think about when I was growing up. And it was just beautiful. And so what I did, I ended up spending a whole day thinking about what it was like as a kid down south, and listening to songs, with my grandmother, and then thinking about, the food she used to cook, the sounds and the smells, and it just took me back. And then what I ended up doing is I ended up going and adding this portion to my book. So I say all that to say we don't know what's going to spark us. So maybe pick up a book. It'll be worth it. Or maybe listen to a podcast. If you've never listened to podcasts before, listen to some podcasts. Do some research. I can put together a list of great podcasts. If you're interested in that, leave it in the comments. I'm 100% down, because I'm a podcast monster. I'm a book monster too. I love to read. I love books, but I've been listening to a lot lately, and obviously now reading is audible. You're listening. But just trying to keep that brain going. Guys, you inspire me all the time. You motivate me and encourage me to continue doing what I'm doing. I hope this random, but not random, video speaks to you. I hope it encourages you, and I hope it inspires you. We'll see you next time.
If you want to see what I'm wearing on a day-to-day basis, check out my Instagram. There you'll find a ton of looks that maybe you can choose from, or at least get some inspiration. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you have any questions or suggestions, leave it in the comments below. We'll see you next time.